Tonight is Yom HaZikoron. Yom HaZikoron is a very important time of the year. And just to say a few words, Bilui Nishmat, the Chayalim who gave up their lives for Am Yisrael, it's important that we just say a few words of Torah because there's nothing better than raising their neshama with words of Torah. You know, this week's parasha coming up, it says in the pasuk, Acharei mot shnei bnei Aaron, b'korbatam lifnei Hashem vayamutu. Right? Get the pasuk. It is an interesting question. After the sons of Aaron, Nadav and Avihu died, we know that 2 weeks ago when they brought the Ish Zara lifnei Hashem, they brought the fire in front of Hashem, their sacrifice, their korban, so to speak. It was something which wasn't accepted the right way, and they died. They should not have brought it the way that they did. And many different pshatim as to why the Gemara goes into. But what's interesting is that right here, Aaron HaKohen is getting the mitzvah of going to the Kodesh HaKodashim on Yom Kippur. But what's interesting is that the pasuk says, Acharei mot shnei bnei Aaron, after the death of the sons of Aaron, when bekorbatam lifnei Hashem, when they brought their korban, right? And then it says vayamutu, and they died. Acharei mot vayamutu. We already know acharei mot, they died already. What are you coming to tell me at the end of the pasuk vayamutu? So I saw a beautiful answer, a beautiful pshat brought down by the Shemen HaTov. Shemen HaTov says, and he quotes a famous Gemara in Moed Katan, that says that when Rabbi Hanina died, when he passed away, Rabbi Yochanan, what he did right away was that he ran to tear kriya. He ran to tear, but not on one clothing. He ran to tear on 13 of his best of his woolen of clothing that he had. And the obvious question is, why did he, once he heard that Rabbi Hanina died, right, he goes and he runs and he finds 13 of his best clothing and he rips this one and he rips that one. We know that the halacha is that when a person rips kriya, it's in a situation of where it happens suddenly, and what's closest to him, it's his clothing. The halacha is really when he hears it, he's supposed to tear kriya, not necessarily by the levaya. He's supposed to tear right when he hears it. So I saw a pshat, he explains like this. He says, why does it say vayamutu at the end? He says, you know why? Because Nadav and Avihu were great, great tzaddikim. No one should ever think that because they did something that wasn't accepted by Borei Olam, that they weren't tzaddikim. No, they were tzaddikim gemurim. And when a tzaddik dies, he doesn't die only once. He keeps dying. Vayamutu, he dies again. You know why he dies again? Because when he passes away, all of a sudden, all those opportunities that he was able to teach Torah, they also die. Tzaddikim, sometimes they leave Sfarim, they leave, Sifrei Zichronot that you can learn from, get chizuk from, Sifrei Musar. They're also Nechshavim Chaim, but there is definitely an aspect of that when they're not here, the Etzem, we're losing the Torah that they can give us live, that they can give us, because hearing it from them, I once heard B'Shem, one of the great Geonim of our generation, Rabbi Victor Miller. He lived in the East Coast in New York, a great, great Talmid Chacham and Mashkiach Ruchani of Yeshivat Chaim Berlin in Brooklyn. He would say, this is B'Shem my Rav, he would say that when a person is listening to a recording and not listening to the Magid Shi'ur, the one giving over the Shi'ur, live, it's not necessarily listening to the shiur from the neshama. Meaning your neshama, your neshama doesn't listen to it the same way if you would listen to it to him if you would hear it live. It's not the same thing. When a tzaddik is around and you're able to hear the Torah that he's giving and it's coming directly from him, that's something great. When he's not here anymore, that dies as well. So not only Acharei mot shnei bnei Aaron, but also vayamutu, he died again. He dies again because he doesn't have the opportunity to give us the Torah that he has. Chacham Ovadia Yosef, Zichronot Tzaddik v'Kadosh Livracha, I heard it from his own mouth. He said that the Chayalim who all gave up their lives were tzaddikim. They were kiddushim. Why? Number one, because they worked for Klal Yisrael. They were the ones who went out there and put themselves on the front lines. But more than that, He says, they protected the Talmidei Chachamim, the Lomdei Torah, to being able to learn. If it wasn't for them, who says that there would be so many Baruch Hashem, so many yeshivot and seminaries, right? And so much Torah flourishing in Am Yisrael, in Eretz Yisrael? It's B'zchut, the large part of it is B'zchut the Chayalim, and especially the Chayalim HaKadoshim who gave up their lives. So they were great Talmidei Chachamim, they were great tzaddikim in their own right, the Chayalim. I'm going to end off with one more story of Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. Was one of the great poskim. I said a story in his name yesterday by Seudah Shalishit. Great Gaon, a tzaddik, a posek hador in Yerushalayim. There was someone who once went up to him, and it was a ben Torah. He went up to him and he told him, he said, Kvod Harav, I plan on traveling to Europe. I want to go to the Kivrei Tzaddikim. This Admor, and that Admor. He says, what do you think? He says, you want to go to Kivrei Tzaddikim? He tells him, go to Har Herzl. That's what he told him. Go to Mount Herzl. You'll see the Tzaddikim over there. You should pray by their Kvarim. They're going to be a Melitz Yoshav. I would like to say, Hashkava, Ilui Nishmat HaKiddushim. So everyone, please stand up. Open the Avon. You have the Mafia?